What up, what up, what up? Y'all saw the intro. It is I, the actual King Smith, back up in this thing for my first live stream of 2024. I'm going to tell you right now, if you rock with me and you've been rocking with me, salute, because your boy done had a whole new format that I'm implementing going forward. So if you are somebody that's been checking out my live streams and videos in the past, I give you a salute. If you are new to my channel, welcome. This handsome face that you see before you today, legit name is actually King. All right. Some people be like, man, your name ain't King. Like, man, pay my taxes for me and you will know that my name is actually King Smith. So what's this live stream going to be about and what are we coming at y'all with today? I decided that I wanted to change up my format a bit because I've been out in the community talking with people, mentoring young kids, and I see a big gap in these kids' knowledge on what's actually happening out there, what they're seeing, and stuff that's going on social media, right? And now social media isn't quote unquote real life, but I think it's a depiction of what's going on in the world, and we could use what we're seeing as an example of what to do and what not to do. So I'm going to be playing a couple of different clips that have made its way on social media and made its way in front of me. And I'm going to ask my co-host, I have a co-host, and you guys, the viewers and listeners, what y'all think about what y'all are seeing as well. Give y'all's input. And if you have a suggestion on something that we could use to help course correct things, put it out there. Let us know. All right. So I'm streaming on multiple platforms. If there's a like button on the platform that you're watching this on, mash that like button for your boy. Help me out. And I can see we've got a couple of people in the chat already. My chat is not displaying, but that is okay. Let me see if I can hit this refresh button and see if it pops up. If not, I might have to move that out. But shout out to God Happened to Me over on YouTube, aka my boo thing. I see you up in the building. Yeah, chat's not working, so let's DOS boot that. All right. Introducing my guest is somebody who I play ball with. Did I play ball with him? I don't think I ever got on the field the same time that he did. But I've had him on my channel before. I had him on a Chats with Dad, and I got asked, hey, how do I properly pronounce his name? So I'm going to bring him up, and I'm going to allow him to introduce himself, and then we're going to get right into it. My man, what's up, brother?
What's going on, bro? How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing well. Let me ask you, how do you properly say your name? And introduce yourself, let the people know a little bit about you, and we'll go from there.
I appreciate it, man. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stephen. It's spelled S-T-E-P-H-E-N, but it's pronounced with a V. Don't ask me why. That's what's on the birth certificate. We're just going to leave it at that, and we're going to rock with it. So the name's Stephen, last name Walker. And to your point, King, we weren't on the field at the same time because you played offense and I played defense. You know.
This is true. This is true. Now,
Happy 2024. Way.
hey, yeah, man. Hey, happy 2024. We made it. I was telling somebody today because they're like, man, why are you so chipper? I said, because I'm 9 days into 2024. To kind of bring up a somber note, I know somebody who was a veteran, actually two veterans that, didn't quite make the age of 60 for various reasons. One is no longer in the land of the living due to an aggressive ALS that he had. And another guy passed just last month due to complications from cancer that came back. So, brother, I look at life. I look at the fact that I'm able to use my voice on this platform, use my 2 feet to walk up and down the stairs. And I'm thankful every single day that I'm living, my man.
No, that's real. That's real. There's a lot of people that didn't wake up today. And same as you, I had people that didn't make it in 2024 with me either. And as you get older, your perspective on life changes. What's really important really changes. So the longer you live, the more you can appreciate that. So every day is a blessing, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, let's get into it. I got a couple of clips that I'm going to play. And we going to get into it, man. So I'm dating. I've got a lady. Her and I are exclusive and we're monogamous. And when you're kind of in that early phase of dating and you're going out and there's mixed crowds or whatnot, sometimes like if it's more than 6, I know some restaurants have it to where you can't split a check if it's more than a certain, people that's in the crowd. But if you going out and you have your lady with you, let's say you're going to celebrate somebody else's birthday and you're the only man in the crowd, who pays?
I'm sorry. Lord Jesus. So hold on. Let me start this by saying, number one, it's me and my lady, okay? So I'm tied to her. I'm not tied to any other adult. Now, unless it's a celebration for somebody else's birthday or, a promotion at work and we're out to celebrate them, maybe I might pick up the tab for them and my lady. But that's it. Because I don't, like we said at the beginning of the show, it's 2024. Have you seen inflation?
Yeah.
It's too expensive to be out here paying for everything. Nah. So, yeah, I'm gonna pay for, like, depending on the setting. If it's somebody that we're out to celebrate and like I'm close with them, or my lady's close with them, maybe I might make make a nice gesture and I might grab their tab. But everybody else, y'all drove by yourself, didn't you? Well, you better go ahead and pay by yourself. What you think this is?
Yeah, man. So let's take a look at this video and I want you to tell me who was right, who was wrong, and how would you have played it?
Birthday girl and my wife.
Separate.
Let's do this again.
Birthday girl and my wife.
Separate cake. Are you the only man at this table? Why are we doing separate cakes? It's all women here.
No, but I'm not responsible for paying everybody. I got the birthday girl.
You invited everybody. You invited all of us.
I didn't invite you, but I didn't sign up for that. Okay, there's nobody else doing
But you participate. I know we ain't got shit.
I don't care how y'all do it.
Well, I'm sorry. Dave, but you always pay, like, you're the only man at the table. You're not going to pay the check, seriously.
But I'm not obligated. I got my whole family.
It's $700 for this whole table, and it's my birthday.
This is your podcast co-host.
It's
This is your
only
best friend.
$700.
It's only fans.
You being cheap.
Are you kidding me right
You're
now?
honestly being cheap right now.
Okay, first.
No, if that was the case, I'd have just took you out
Are
so
you
much of your
being
birthday.
Dre, are you gonna let him sit here with a whole table full of women?
I really feel like it's not his responsibility, and when y'all get a husband,
I'm married.
Oh, sorry, I do have a husband though. Hold on, wait a minute.
Thank
I do have a husband.
So Donnie, you're good because it's your birthday, but the
Y'all
rest of y'all,
know
we're going
me
to chip in.
Hey.
You need to leave.
No, I'm not paying for anything. I'm not paying for anything.
No.
I'm not paying for anything.
I'm gonna tell you tomorrow.
No, he's the man at the table. He needs to pay.
Can you please separate the checkbook?
I like how he was like, yeah, separate the check, please. Yo, my mind was blown at the fact that not the birthday girl. Okay, so current customs, current culture does kind of dictate, like if you're going out for somebody's birthday celebration, even if the birthday person is the one that invites people, they typically don't pick up their own tab. All right, somebody will pick up the tab, but just because there's one man in a group of all women, which I want to know where them other ladies' dudes was at, first of all, to where they're all dressed up, they're all nice. There's only one guy there, and the other people expected him to pick up the tab. Talk to me, Steven.
I'm trying to think of where I want to start. First of all, I think what got me was the expectation that just because he's a man, he's supposed to pay for you. Now let's flip that. Imagine if it had been a bunch of dudes out, right? And some girl had offered to pay for their dinner. Boy. Now that'd have been a whole issue.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, I have never been in a situation because they all seem very independent and they got it. So at what point did it flip and the switch flip that, you know what, I'm not going to pay because I'm out here at a birthday party? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, why would you expect that? And that's not your dude at that. And we find out later on that I got a husband. Well, like you said, King, where is he at? You better go swipe his credit card or something. Like, what? But you know what I tell you? I'll tell you what, I appreciate the server because she called him out politely and said, y'all not his responsibility when y'all get husbands. And then all of a sudden everybody's like, oh, I got a man. Like, that's crazy to me.
Oh,
that's crazy.
Bruh,
like,
that wasn't the server. That was his wife. The one that was like, the one that spoke up.
Yeah, right. And you know what? That's what she was supposed to do. Check them because they know they're out of pocket for that. Because I guarantee you she wouldn't have done that to her husband. Nah. We're out as friends. If anything, everybody could have chipped in and paid, whatever for the birthday girl, and done it that way. But to expect, and a $700 tab for food I didn't even eat? Oh, what? No.
Do you think?
Ain't no way, boy.
Do you think that the wife did right by falling back? Because if you notice, the lady that was, saying, "Oh, you the man, you got to pick up," she was talking directly to him, and the wife sat back. She didn't say anything. Was that the right thing for her to do? Was to kind of sit, wait back, and let him handle it, or should she have said something earlier?
So here's kind of my rule of thumb. I personally I'll try not really to argue with a female because not that I look at them as any lesser, but what I look like arguing with a girl. Like, it's like, you don't get kudos for that. Now, if I'm with my lady, I expect her to check another female or check her friends. The same way, if I was out, I'm not like gonna let a dude just talk crazy to her or say anything to her. Like, no. You talk to me, man to man. You know what I'm saying? So I think I didn't realize that was a wife, but I thought that was a server. But she should have, if I was in that situation, I wouldn't have said anything right then and there. But once we got in the car, I'm like, babe, why you wait so long? Like, don't do that because at that point, it's all of them versus him. And that's not right. And if you're going to be in a relationship, it has to be y'all two versus the world, essentially. You know what I mean? So I think she was late to the party. She should have. I don't know why she hesitated, but if that had, like I said, if that had been my lady or something, and that went down, and she waited that long to say something, again, I'm not gonna say anything in the moment because we gotta, have a united front in that situation. But boy, as soon as you got in the car, I was like, excuse me. You lose your voice in there. What's the hold up, bro? You late to the party.
Okay. All right. We've got some people in the chat. Shout out to Marriage, Politics, and Sports. He said, I'm glad he stood his ground. Still, I would have to talk to my wife about not letting them know that before dinner. That's solid.
But even that's absolutely. But why was that? Out of anybody that goes into a situation like that, and here's the thing, they knew what kind of restaurant they were going to. They knew it was going to be expensive. How do you just assume, oh, such and such got the check? What? Again, maybe it was 2023 when this happened. Inflation was still high. Like that's crazy to me. And it couldn't have been me.
Yeah, and see, it's funny because you and I and a good bit of people that watch my channel, I think we all have agency in what our responsibilities and obligations are, and we're not going to go out in that situation expecting somebody else to pick up the damn tab. That's why it's so ridiculous to us.
And the fact that they felt justified in saying, "Oh, well, you're the man. You're supposed." I'm not your man. Go tell him. You're not going back to my house. What? I'm not responsible for nobody here but myself and my lady. Was that his kid that was with him? Was that their child?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I got 3 responsibilities while I'm here.
God happened to me said,
period.
I wish I would expect King to pay for another grown woman who is not family.
No, for real, straight like, you see what I'm saying? If that situation would have been reversed, boy, he'd have got the car and that'd have been it. They'd have fought the whole way home. Oh, you just out here got other women paying for you. What? Nah.
Ooh, well, that is how we're going to start this live stream. And
that's how we start.
That is how we're starting it. The second thing that I'm going to jump into, have you seen the video of the guy that jumped across that desk Superman style on that judge?
Listen. I'm sorry that happened to that judge. That's not cool. However, I need to know why this man is not in the Olympics. I need to understand because I don't know if the viewers understand. Number one, the speed and the bounce it takes to not only get to a certain spot, but elevate, turn sideways in the air, be horizontal, and land right on top of somebody else. All before anybody else can get to you to stop you. Like, bro, you're a superhero. Like, what are you doing in jail?
He missed his calling, bro. Absolutely. The Summer Olympics are about to come up, and this dude might have been training and we ain't even know it.
He should be in Paris, getting ready for Paris. He's gonna be sitting in the jail cell now. Like, that's sad. But yeah, I saw it because I was just like, but you know what though, at the same time, I'm trying to figure out where was the bailiff at? Like, how did he get from here to there? And if I understand, they had just brought him from jail.
Mm-hmm.
So no cuffs, no. I'm not even mad at him. I mean, I am, but I'm not. Like, there was so many missed responsibilities. Everybody in there gets fired. If I was the judge, I'd better never see those people in that courtroom again. That whoever sheriffs was in there, the bailiffs, I'll never want to see your face. Period.
Have you seen the entire video that led up to him running and jumping, not the short version.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let's play it
I have.
for the people that haven't, because I didn't know what the whole version was, and when I heard the whole version, it made me laugh even harder. Now, I'm not laughing at the dude. Apparently, he does have some mental health things, but still, Steven, that's no excuse for your behavior and being held accountable for the things that you do to other people. So let's take a look at the whole video, all right? Because it's wild to me.
Birthday girl and
hold
my
on.
wife.
That's average. Hey, sorry, you the only man
that's
at the
wild,
table. Why
too.
we doing
I gotta get better at
all
this.
women here.
Y'all bear with me. Bear
King,
with me.
King, is this it's first time, baby? It's first time. It's
Hey,
all right.
yeah,
Embrace
you know, things come up, things come up. Let's see. It is right here. Take a look and listen to this.
Mr. Redden, is there anything you want to say on your own behalf before I pronounce sentence?
I feel that, like, I shouldn't be, like, sent to prison for a second time.
Have you looked at your criminal history? 3 felonies, a gross, 9 misdemeanors, multiple DVs. Got a lot going on, sir. Battery on a protected person, robberies, attempt home invasion.
I'm trying to learn from my mistakes. I feel like I shouldn't be sent to prison, but if it's appropriate for you, then you have to do what you have to do. But I figure that I'm in a better place in my life. I'm not doing drugs. You know, I'm not after committing crimes now. The criteria of me saying this is that I'm a person that never stops trying to do the right things, even if it's hard. And I did the best I could.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of something else because I just can't with that history.
Da, 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 da,
No, for real.
da, 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 da.
Put his cape on it. Oh,
Man, the way he cleared that after that whole beautiful speech of, you know, I know I've done things, but I'm a changed person. I've did all of this stuff in the past, Judge. You know, I don't think I should have jail because, you know, I'm not that dude anymore. To then go, now, F that B.
So I'm coming at it from a different angle.
Let's hear it.
Because I'm very much the person, how you speak to me and how you verbalize something to me is very important. That'll determine if we go left or right. And number one, he knows what he did, and I took it as kind of demeaning for her to say, well, you had this, you had this, you had this. You know what I'm saying? Before, like, from jump. So you already know why you're there. And so you are essentially saying you're a bad person regardless of what you're going to say. But go ahead, though. Go ahead and speak your piece. You know, the whole clip shows, you know, he said he was dealing with some mental stuff. And again, I don't excuse any of that. But then after he gives his, we'll call it his speech, she goes, well, I think you need a taste of something else. There's no empathy. And here's the thing, if he was that kind of a threat, again, you didn't feel threatened enough to have him in shackles and handcuffs. But then you're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, well, I'm gonna give you." Basically, I have power over you, and I'm gonna show you what's up. That's how I took it personally.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and again, I don't know. He could have been full of crap. I don't know that. We don't know that. But at the same time, no, that is indicative of the problem of the judicial system. I think, because sending him to prison when it didn't show it here, but he said he had gone through some mental health camps and stuff like that. He said, I haven't been committing any robberies. I haven't been getting in trouble. So there is change that's happening. And she went and essentially dismissed all that. And basically, I took it, basically said, it didn't matter what you do. You're still the person you were back then. So at that point, clearly he didn't handle his emotions in the proper way. Clearly he still needs some counseling. But I invite all the viewers to look at it from his perspective. He's like, hold on, I'm making effort. I'm really trying here. And you just told me that what I'm doing ain't worth nothing? Oh, you bet. And over the top he goes. So again, I don't condone any of it, but again, and I'll be honest, I've been on the opposite side of that. I've come a long way from when I was younger till now, and how people of authority talk to people in that type of position is not okay. Because I say this to people all the time: if you wouldn't talk crazy to somebody on the street where nobody else is around, then don't show off in front of your friends. Don't do that. Don't do that, because you're at this point you're abusing your authority. You're abusing your power. You know what I'm saying? Like, treat people with the humanity they deserve, because he's not in there for murder. He's not in there for child molestation. This I don't know, but I'm going to. It'd probably be safe to assume grew up on the streets. Didn't grow up with a lot, and so this is might be all he knows. And again, there's no excuse, but how did the system help? We know how the system is gonna deal with you, but how is the system gonna help your problems as you're going through life? Because not everybody has a support system. I'll be honest, I didn't really get a support system until I got in my 20s. You know what I mean? So it's all a matter of perspective, man.
It is. It is. Now, I'm going to see if I could bring this up real quick. There was some images of when he did show back up in court for his sentencing, because he didn't get his sentencing during that time, because that all happened, and then the bailiff and stuff kind of came in quick. Charges. But here it is right here. Let me move this over. That's what he looked like showed up. And man, I want to tell you something. I saw that picture. And for as much as I think that, you have to have protection, bro, they showed up with like 20 different sheriffs. He in shackles, chains, his hands. And I don't know, something about that image disturbed me.
It looked like Hannibal Lecter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be honest. I saw this, and I was offended, because it's like two extremes. They got the mask on him. He didn't spit on her. You know what I'm saying? So, he didn't try to buy. Like, I think that now they're trying to make an example of him, which I'm sure they are, because they're like, oh, we allowed this to happen. But let's be real, they could have brought him in a chair or something. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Or just walked him in. They could have walked him in just the shackles and handcuffs. They got him out here looking like I don't know. Like I said, I personally think it's too much, and I think they're just simply trying to make an example of him. And again, I look at that as that's inhuman to me too, because they got him chained up like an animal.
Bro, the optics,
because they didn't do their job. Let's be clear about that. They didn't do their job from the
beginning. And bro, the optics was wild altogether, because in the original court hearing that he was in, they had like a minimum amount of sheriffs or whatnot. But let me just say this as clear as I can. I didn't see that many POCs the first time around, and I think that some chief or whoever's in charge of clerk duty or courtroom duty or whatnot is starting to kind of overthink this stuff, because you can't see it from just this photo, but there were like 6 POCs in sheriff uniforms that day, and there might have been 15 total in the courtroom.
They were embarrassed. That fella right there, chained up, embarrassed the judicial system in their house. Now they got to make an example of you. That's all it is. They were just trying to show force, show that they're in charge. We're the big dogs. Yeah, like I said, they're trying to make up for a mistake that they made, and that's all it is to it. The whole thing is disgusting. I hope that gentleman who's in prison, I hope he gets the help he needs. Man, I hope he really is given the opportunity to change his life around. Because the ironic thing is, we all got stories, we all got stuff that we're not proud of, and if their stuff got put on display like that, they wouldn't appreciate it. So I don't know. Let's just give people an opportunity to change, man. That's all.
Yeah. Shout out to Marriage Politics and Sports said This dude is a menace to society. Look how fast he went from 0 to 60. Hey, you know what? Like I said, I'm not going to excuse his behavior. When you look at a person's rap sheet, right? Like his rap sheet was extensive. There was apparently some domestic violence things that were in there. And should he have been shackled up and chained in some aspects? I say yes, but not like that.
I've never seen or heard of anybody that's going for sentencing to walk in with no cuffs on. I've never seen that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's crazy. I don't know. My man called him a menace, though.
He said a menace to society. Over on Facebook, Michelle Early said, truth is, he said that he needed help. And to be honest, prison does not heal people. He needed therapy and assistance with not making the same mistakes again. Who pays for that? Who pays for that? Like, how do you take a free citizen? All right. I don't know if this guy's been in some type of mental therapy or had any prior assistance, if he was keeping up with it, if it was known and people just kind of, well, you know, that's just how he is. I agree with you. How does that get executed? Okay. Because he's not what I would say is an outlier. I don't think he's an outlier.
I'll tell you, King. You know who pays for it? The prison pays for it.
But who pays for the prison?
So prison is let's be clear. Prison is a business. It doesn't have anything to do about protecting the people. It is a business. You know who owns prisons? Billionaires. Prison is profitable. Prisoners are profitable for them. That's why our prison system is overrun and there's too many, because it's literally one of the easiest ways to make money. People break the law every single. If you don't put your seatbelt on, you're breaking the law.
Technically, that's true.
So you can get jammed up for anything. So I don't know how many of our viewers know this, but when you go on work release, you don't get a full paycheck. You have to pay the prison to be on work release. So you're getting almost pennies on the dollar. So you know, you might go work 40 hours, but you're only getting like 10 hours, 5 to 10 hours worth of work, worth of paycheck from that. So they're making more money than you are. So who pays for that? The prison does. They have the capital to. They choose not to because they want people to continue to come back and be a part of that system and be stuck in this loophole where you get out, you don't have the resources, you mess up, you go right back in. You get out, you don't have the resources, you get messed up, you go back. It's a revolving door. So, like I said, if they really wanted to help people, they would. They don't want to because it wouldn't make them any money.
Man, we've had some chats come in on this one. Let's take a look here. We have Michelle Early says some mental health services are available for free to help with recidivism. Why are you gonna put that big word up on the screen? Recidivism. He needs to pay for it. She followed that up on a different platform and said prisons are businesses. Remember the museum in Alabama? It's a successful business and it only gets money when it keeps people. Okay. Oh, hey, shout out to Marriage, Politics, and Sports with a $5 super chat. He said he was stopped for a home invasion. The taxpayers pay for all of it, and all prisons are not private. All right. He was stopped for a home invasion, all right, and then taxpayers pay for all of it. Okay, speaking of who pays for all of it. Yeah, and that's my problem. That's my problem. Like, oh, man.
So let me ask you, okay?
Yeah, go.
Let me ask you something, all right? We're going to pay taxes regardless, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter whether it's privately owned or they said we're going to pay taxes, correct?
Yep.
So whether they implement a system for therapy, we're going to pay regardless. If we're going to pay regardless, we might as well, as good human beings, try to be a part of the solution. In my opinion, that's my opinion. Because where else is the money going to go? Because it's not going to help people anyway. So where's the money actually used for? How many state-of-the-art prisons do you see? So they're not going for better security, better conditions. So you got all this money. Where's the money going? So if it's not going to be utilized for something positive, why not go ahead and implement a system so that we don't have menaces continue to come back out into society?
I think we, along with that, we still should be, restarting this. I'm not seeing enough accountability being held by people at a young age to where they know that what mental illness or not. Like I can't speak for mental illness because I'm just gonna say I'm ill informed. Hey, that was a play on words, and I like that. I'm ill informed on really what it takes and how living with certain things affects the way you understand actions and consequences. I do think that there is enough of people not being held accountable to where the general person can look and see Susie, Jack, Nicole, Peter, whoever doing things, not being held accountable. So that emboldens them to just go out and do big shit because, you know, people are just getting a slap on the wrist for most things, it seems, nowadays. I just saw somebody, a military veteran, be able to post a $500,000 bond because he walked into his estranged wife's house while her and her, I guess, new man was in the shower. He shot at both of them. She got injured. The other guy died. So he killed someone and was able to post a $500,000 bond and get out of jail. And interesting enough, the family of this, I think he's still a current active duty airman, asked for a GoFundMe, but didn't put all the reasons why this guy needed the money to get out. And for me, that heightens the thought of, hey, I can do things and, you know, I'm likely going to get a slap on the wrist.
So that's kind of a two-part. I have a two-part answer. First of all, because you said young people. The first problem is the parents aren't holding their kids accountable. That's the first issue. Because all too often, I see too many of these disrespectful little kids that be out. Not all of them, but there's a lot of them. And I'm looking at them like, man, if I ever would have thought to act like that or be like that towards another adult, I wouldn't have been able to sit down for a week.
Same here.
So there's been a shift of power from the parents to the kids and the young people, because now we have these laws and, you know, CPS. That's granted, CPS is good for a reason because there are a lot of abused kids, but now parents can't discipline their kids the way some kids need discipline because little Johnny down the street isn't listening to, I'm going to take your PlayStation. Don't nobody care about forget that PlayStation. You need a whooping, and then I'm going to take the PlayStation afterwards. Sit here and look at the walls. Don't do nothing. Don't come out the room.
Oh, but hey, Steven, I can't whoop people now, bruh. Haven't you heard? These kids are picking up their cell phones or using their tablets and calling 911 because their dad decided to give them discipline.
Well, that's fine, because here's what's going to happen. You're still going to get that whooping. I'm going to take the phone. After you've done it, I'm going to take the phone and the tablet, and I'm going to put you outside. You can wait for them to get there. And when they take you, don't come back. Go stay with another family. Go do this and that and see how you like it. I
have to read this super chat.
Kids don't have. Go Go ahead.
I have to read the super chat that came in. Shout out to Marriage, Politics, and Sports again. Hey, go up to his channel, actually, by the way. He does this nice series called Let Them Tell It, in which he's highlighting some things that he's observing in society, but he's letting the people that are putting the information out there and then allowing you to draw the conclusion about what you think. So go over there and sub to his channel as well. But he said, nice show, King, on a $5 super chat. We'll have to catch a few more. I see I need to reform you dudes. And then God Happened to Me said, I'm curious, reform how and for what reason? Yeah, he said, I see I need to reform you dudes. Come on, R-Pain.
Hey, we are free thinkers over here. Reform. Now we can have a conversation. Reform, though. Nah.
That's a good brother over there. Yeah. That's a good brother. He comes on and he does this Monday live stream with me on The Real Precious, man. Good guy. He has an interesting way of presenting information. Yeah.
Like it. I like it.
Good deal. Do you have anything else on the dude flying over the desk, man, before I throw something else at you?
Nah, just, you know what? Everybody has a story. You know, we can all lend an opinion because we only have our perspective and we only have that 15 seconds of his viral moment. You know what I mean? So this is by no means excuses his actions, but we also don't know how he got to that point. You know what I'm saying? So always try to remind people, man, try to extend folks some grace in certain situations, because not all situations deserve that. But, you know, perspective is everything.
Absolutely. Now, this next video I caught on the Jasmine Brand's Instagram page, and it was shared by DL Hughley, in which he said, protect women like this. Call me old fashioned, but I'm with all of this here. And this one lady came out and said, lady shares things that she does for her husband that most modern women don't agree with. Let's see if I can capture this properly, and then we gonna get into it. There it is. All right, let's hit play.
Hey, good. Hey, there you go. There you go. There's no audio, bro.
Oh, no. All right, that sucks. Then we're going to have to do something here a little bit different. While I do that, man. Go ahead.
Do you know what she said?
Yeah. But while I'm queuing this up, give me your thoughts on this narrative that's out there about the quote unquote modern woman. Just when you hear that, what does the modern woman look like to you?
Can you try to get me in trouble?
Hey man, you said that we free thinkers over here. Free think, brother.
Whatever I say is gonna be wrong. No, I'm just kidding. The modern woman. So I think, I don't even know if I guess the modern woman is a good adjective for it. So I think the ideal modern woman has changed, because we live in a time where I don't think that any man or woman can just do everything by themselves. Okay. But society tries to tell women that you just need to be independent, do everything for yourself, and you don't need no man. Okay. And that just isn't true. I believe that we all need somebody else that not necessarily isn't going to complete us, but is going to help bring out the best version of us. And so, for example, in the first video, that woman had that expectation of the man is the breadwinner, so the expectation is for him to just automatically pay. Mind you, she has no idea what that man's finances are because she's not a part of that household. So the idea that that expectation is just placed upon this is not conducive for where we are just in life. So I would say the modern woman is not too far. I personally don't think it's too far removed from what it was the expectations were before. I do think that women have had to adapt because the world has changed. I do think men have changed in a sense, and not necessarily. I don't say good or bad per se, but for example, it snowed here the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I live by myself, but I went out and shoveled my driveway, and one of my female friends made the comment and was like, "Oh, you'd make a good husband," and I was like, "Why?" She was like, and she said, "So you can do manly things," and I didn't think anything of it, but in that moment, I'm like, yeah, like that is like that is like an expectation that I think a woman can have of a man. But I do know there's a lot of men that'd be like, I'm not going out there to shovel, it's cold. Well, yeah, it's cold, but it has to get done. So just go ahead out there and do it. Don't have her out there. Not because she's not capable of it, but women are supposed to be, in my opinion, in my opinion, women should be able to be softer and a little more feminine and not have to go out there. Because I tell you what, King, my back was sore. Boy, I was out there throwing that snow in my shit, man. And I'm like, this sucks. But I wouldn't want a woman to go out there and do that. Like I'm capable. I might ask, can you make me some hot chocolate when I get back or something like that? You know what I mean? But I don't want her to have to work harder than I do in that aspect. In the home, we all got to make this money, babe. Like, help me. But at the same time, though, I'm also going to do my best to try to make her life comfortable. So, yes, the dynamic of the woman, I think, has changed because it's required. It has to. But I don't think a lot of women want to be the person that does everything. You know what I mean? I don't think they want that.
I'm going to ask you why you think that in a second. So I've got the video queued up. People should be able to hear it now.
Let's hear it.
But let's hear this lady talk about what she do for her husband that most modern women won't agree with. And then I'm going to ask you and the viewers what y'all think. Is she right? Is she wrong? Let's take a listen.
For my husband that most modern women don't agree with. In no particular order, number one, submitting to him. I don't look at me and my husband as equals. He is my head, he is my leader, and I respect and treat him as such.
Let's pause right there. I don't look at us as equals. He is the head and I submit to him. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna just be honest because one of my I don't want to say resolutions, but one of the changes I wanted to make for myself in 2024 was to be upfront about how I feel about stuff. And I agree with her. The only caveat that I would add to that is as far as she is equal as a human being. See, a lot of people don't understand that when you look at a relationship, it's in sorts like a business. When you go to work, you have somebody that you report to, okay? So there is somebody that is above you. And in a relationship, you can't have two people of the same level because there's going to be back and forth. Somebody has to be submissive. And I don't know about you, King. Well, actually, I'll say that you've been in a position where there's a whole bunch of men in a room and there's competition. But there's no always that's not going to back down. And so when you have two people that are just aren't going to back down, and I just said this, a woman is taking more of like a masculine role and just saying, "This is what we're going to do." A lot of men are going to be like, "Oh, hold on now, who?" Like you can't have two head chefs in the kitchen trying to pull a certain direction. And I don't think that women can't be leaders, but I do think in a relationship, a lot of the responsibility for why things happen or don't happen falls on the man. So let's say I did have a significant other and lived here and the driveway needed shoveled and I decided I wasn't going to do it and it didn't get done, and my neighbors know that it's a man and a woman here, they're not going to look at her and be like, why didn't the shoveling get done? They're going to look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think that there's anything wrong with a woman being submissive. I don't think that is a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad word, but people make it sound like a bad word.
It's not. Because, and here's the thing. I'm the type of person that when the time comes and I get married, I'm gonna have a house, okay? My wife can have the whole house except for the one room that's mine. That one room, leave it alone. Don't touch it. I don't want your input in it, on it. I don't want suggestions. Let me do what I do. You have the whole house. I'm not gonna, if you want the rest of the house to be whatever, I say, okay, I'm gonna go with it. But this one room is mine. That doesn't mean at some point I want you to come and tell me how this room is going to go.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, again, I do think the man is supposed to lead the relationship because that is how we are. That's in our DNA, because that's something that a lot of mature men, because not all men, but men who understand how it is to walk through life and be honorable, they understand that there's a responsibility, and that's kind of their duty.
I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad that you said that.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah. Honor. You know? I think that you have, I can't tell you how to live. You can't tell me how to live. I think that there has to be a level of understanding when we are living together in a society so that I don't step on your toes and you don't step on my toes. But there is something that while you and I didn't grow up together, we have a general understanding of this thing called honor, right? And speaking specifically to a heterosexual relationship, I am not seeing enough honorable men that are out there that are making the right decisions and the right choices with the ladies that are out there too. Now, some relationships, you get into them, it don't work out. It is what it is, right? Not everybody's just going to be compatible with everybody. But what I'm seeing and observing is ladies, unlike the person who's on our screen, living lives out there and not understanding why they keep bumping heads with the same people that they share a roof with, married or not. I think that there's a huge change coming, and Marriage, Sport, Politics, and Sports said it on his channel as well. There's more women in their 30s and 40s not being married. And I'm not saying marriage has to be the ultimate goal, but I do think having a society in which you have a good family unit or a good household unit can help raise people to make better decisions overall. And there's some people in the chat here that I want to acknowledge. God Happened to Me over on YouTube said, I've said that before, that men and women aren't partners. I can live with this. The man is the head. I am his Ezer. That must be one of them SAT words. His helpmeet, but he must lead. He must lead. And Tarika followed that up with, I agree. He has to know how to lead, and the women submit to her king. So let me ask you this. Do you think that there are enough men out there that know how to lead, or are men lacking in that department as well? And that's why ladies out here running buck wild.
I think there's some truth to that. So I definitely think that men share some blame, and how I'm not gonna say all women, but a lot of women are today, because they haven't been shown that they can put their trust in this man to lead them in the right direction. And I also feel that when you see that so often, you kind of just throw your hands up and you're just like, well, I'm gonna just do what I want. But here's the caveat to that.
Mm-hmm.
For the men of us out that are out here that do have an understanding of what it means to lead and lead with intention, we're not gonna put up with that shit. Excuse my French, bro. I'll tell you what. Because listen, you know this came out. I'm super competitive. I'm not trying to come home and compete with my woman. I'm gonna tell you to get out before I do that. I'm just keeping it real. I do not want to go back and forth and argue with you just because you feel like you have to have the last word or you have to be the biggest voice. Like, I don't want to hear that. So there has to be some submission. And ladies, don't get it twisted. There are gonna be times that a man is gonna submit to you because of your intuition, because there are things that, which is crazy. I don't know how they do it. They just know shit. They just know. You know what I'm saying? And they can literally save your life. So there are times that a man has to be able to, like, you know what she's saying is right. We need to go ahead and go that direction. But you also got to be man enough to say, she's right. Like, we all have egos, men and women. Sometimes men are bigger than women. But you know what though, Tom? Man, look, sometimes a woman's ego would be like this, and she don't want to admit that, you know what? Yeah, I was wrong. Not all. And there's some women that are working on getting better at that. But like I said, ladies, there's nothing wrong with being submissive. It's not a bad thing, because men naturally are not submissive. It literally goes against our makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not what it. And so you're trying to essentially go against creation. It's just not going to work. Now we have some men who have assumed the submissive role. And I can't even lie to you, it drives me nuts, because I'm like, yo, you are a man. I'm not saying you got to bow down to everything she says. You know, sometimes, you know, it's okay to let her have it. But bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on now.
And
here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you let a woman do that, she will. She will.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what else this lady has to offer.
And there's nothing oppressive about it. This man treats me like a princess, and I love it. Every single minute of it. When you have a man who you know truly has your best interest at heart, it truly makes submitting come easy. Not always easy, but definitely worthwhile. Number 2, I ask him for permission on certain things before I do it. Let's say a group of my girls and I want to go out to a place that we've never been before. I'm not going to just go. I'm going to ask my husband if he's okay with me going before I make any type of plans. And that's out of respect, because if he's not okay with where we're going, or if he's not sure about the location, then I'm not going to go. I also wash his clothes, I clean up after him, I cook for him, I serve him his plate, and I take it back when he's done. I cater to him. I literally cater to him because he's the king and he should be treated as such. And I let him have the final say on decisions.
Oh, man. My faces were being made because I'm like, oh. If she were to walk in and say this to a group of 50 modern women, bro, 48 of those 50 are going to be throwing stones at her.
Bro, let see. I waited for the perfect. I paid for the perfect moment, the perfect time. Let me take my hat off to her. Let me take my hat off to her, man. Let me take my hat off to her. What? And I'll put it back on because I told you I was gonna rock it later. Some people think this funny. Oh, I love this hat. Listen, when you treat a man, when there is a man being treated like that and a man treating a woman like that,
it's a beautiful thing.
Yo, it's harmony. It literally is the epitome of two people being in sync. Now, I want to bring something up. She said if she's going out with her homegirls to a place he doesn't know, she's going to ask permission. There's a lot of women that's like, I'm not asking permission. Hold on. Let me tell you why. The same way women have intuition about certain things, men have intuition in that scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know about you, King, but I'm super observant. Anywhere I go, anytime I go somewhere, I'm always looking around. I can be chit-chatting, having a good time, but I always know what's going on around me. When I go someplace, I don't ever sit with my back to the door. When I go into a place that I've never been, I'm always looking for exits. I'm always looking to see who's acting a certain type of way.
Pause. Also, people need to understand by doing that then gives you the authority that if you say, get the fuck down to, people that are there in your party, they should listen to you, not question you, and just do it because you've observed something that is a threat and you are now trying to be the responsible party to make sure that everybody's safe. All right. So people don't get why that's a thing. Right. But you have to be the person that's trusted enough that people are understanding that you're doing that because you have everybody's safety and best interests at heart.
And let me ask you something. How many times, next time you go out with your lady, don't say anything until you get back, but ask her what all she observed while she was out and about. Because most women are not like that. They like to go out, they like to have a good time, and they're not peeping. Hold on. Why is he standing by the door with his hand in his pocket like that? You know what I'm saying? Like there's little stuff that a lot of men, at least the people I'm around, like they peep that all the time. And it's not because they are hoping something, but you just don't know. And I'd rather be prepared so I can make an informed decision in an instant than have to be caught off guard. Like, oh, I don't know what's going on.
Bruh,
nope.
About a month ago, I've actually shared this on my channel. I wish my car cam could have captured everything from the front and the back, but me and my lady were heading out on a date and this guy, I don't know what he was on, but you could see like he was talking to himself. I thought he might have been like rapping and listening as he was walking outside in cold weather with no shirt on. But no, I think he was just lost in the head and he was arguing at me as I'm waiting to like turn onto the road. As I'm like kind of still peeping him as he's walking past my car where a car was trying to get on the road, like past him going up the road, he pulled the blicky out. Bruh, I hit the gas and just skirt. Instead of turning left because I was waiting on cross traffic, I just went right and kept going. Now, my lady didn't see any of that, partly because I told her because we were going on like a surprise date. I didn't want her out looking. So she focused on just, being in her phone, which is what I asked her to do. But at the same time, man, like those antennas were sticking up for me right then and there. And I didn't say anything to her initially because I didn't want the night to be ruined by something that didn't happen. Like something could have happened, but nothing did happen. I went back down and I talked to the people to see if there was somebody who had a Ring camera that could verify because I wanted to get that footage and talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things that we're constantly looking, assessing. We're still being present in the moment with the people that we're with, but we're also, using them. I don't know how to describe it. Spider senses because we're also looking out for everybody's safety as well.
And see, that is a part of being submissive. Like, what's going on is for your best interest. And I'm not saying that women don't know what's in their best interest. However, in certain scenarios, you might not know what's in your best interest until it's too late. So,
So my lady is God happened to me. She wrote, I'm not married, and I recently applied for a professional position. Before I did, I chatted with King after talking to God because I wanted to make sure that my acceptance to the program would align with our plan. She Tarika followed that up and said, to me, you have a good man that loves you and supports you as you support him. Yeah. So I support her. We aren't married. That's one of the other things that I want to get into as well. So this lady is sharing stuff that she does for her husband. I would argue
right.
that she was like this before they got married, and that's what allowed her husband to, and I'm assuming he asked her to be his wife. That's how it traditionally works here in the US. But I argue that she came to him with that kind of mindset already, and that's what made him go, "You my wife." Now, I don't think a lot of guys are seeing marriageable women. Like I've said on these airs very publicly, and even when I met my lady, before her and I got serious, I had been married. I had been married for 14 years. And my marriage left a sour taste in my mouth coming out of it, because people don't get married to get divorced. At least, I didn't, but it still happened.
Right.
Now, I've told my lady, I said, hey, look, we can do life together. I have enough trust in her that I don't think she's out to get me, right? Yet I'm still reeling from, some things, or I have a different understanding of some things, and I'm not sure if I want to be married again. I've told her, hey, I support you. I am here for you. I trust you enough that I want us to do life together. I'm just not sure if I want the title husband and wife.
So let me ask you something, King. Does she want to get married?
She has stated, let me say it as clear as I understand it, because her and I, we talk about it very publicly on our joint YouTube channel. She is not rushing to get to the altar. Yet, if I were to ask her to be my wife, she would accept it. So
King, I just want to let you.
Yeah,
she's giving you the sign. Okay.
Yeah, but she hasn't been like, King, when you putting a ring on it, King, like because I'm gonna tell you, if she were to do that, then that's the biggest way to push me away, is to be like, so when we doing this? You know what I'm saying? She's not doing that. I've seen that. I've seen the relationships where, people are living together, and I don't know what they're talking about behind closed doors as far as if they're, talking about, well, in the future, we're going to get married or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or, hey, they have the benefits of being together and she has an expectations. But I've seen it to where, like, there's subtle hints thrown and the guy's kind of brushing off the hints, but she's giving the hints to him and then he's just deflecting it. Eventually, those don't work. So
here's I've never been married, but here's my advice, and take it or leave it. I don't take no offense to it. Men, we just said, are the head of the household, right?
Mm-hmm.
And being a good leader sometimes means, I don't even want to say call it a sacrifice, but you do things that you might be hesitant for your significant other, for your example, for your wife. If you say that you love her and you support her, the ultimate way to show your vulnerability and love to her is to do something that you might be uncomfortable with, but saying, you know what, I'm going to put my trust into you fully, and not saying that necessarily marriage makes it the relationship complete per se, but it does add a level of um, I can't even think of the word I'm trying to say, but it takes it up another step from just being in a relationship or living. You know, when you said you're married, some you are committing yourself to that person for better or worse. So I would say to you, obviously, I'm not saying go put a ring on her, tomorrow, but at some point, if you love her the way you say you do, show her how much you love her by saying, you know what, I'm hesitant, but I love and care for you so much that I'm going to step outside of my comfort zone and let's do this, because ultimately I think it sounds like for what you're telling us, she would like to. She's maybe not tomorrow, but if you asked her, she would say yes. That's she's just throwing a line out to you, see see what kind of response she gets. But yeah, man, because listen, there's some good women out here, and you know this, but they're not they're not as easy and as accessible. So if you got one, you know what I'm saying, I would definitely say take advantage of it. And also too, and I say this about people in general, if you see a whole bunch of people that just aren't good people, you got to change who you're hanging around with or who you're going after.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's not a lot there's in certain spaces you're not going to find a lot of good women. Same thing, you're not going to find a lot of good men. You got to change the type of men or woman that you're going after, or you have to look in a different place. You know what I'm saying? Because there's good men and women out here. You just got to find them.
Okay. All right. God happened to be said, she got real quiet, didn't she? That's what's up. That's what's up, Michelle. So this lady here has about 27 seconds of additional things. Let's see what else she had to offer.
I trust his judgment at the end of the day, and I know that he's always open to hearing and considering my thoughts, but at the end of the day, he's the man. I let him have the authority, let him have the final say on what works best for us. And even if things don't go as he planned originally, I'm not going to go ha-ha and laugh in his face. I'm going to still be by his side and support him.
Oh, man. Oh, you know what? I'm going to see if I can run that back. Let's run that back.
I let him have the authority, let him have the final say on what works best for us. And even if things don't go as he planned originally, I'm not going to go ha-ha and laugh in his face. I'm going to still be by his side and support him. It's okay. Lesson learned. Now on to the next thing. Period.
Not the period.
Oh, man. So she had a follow-up video to that, which I'm not going to play today, but in her follow-up video, she said that she was surprised by the vitriol that she had gotten from this video that I just displayed, in which she talked about, how she's in a happy relationship, submitting to her husband, and what she also gains and gets from that as well. And man, I think that it's interesting that people are hearing this topic, hearing this conversation, and folks aren't seeming to get it. People aren't seeming to really understand it. Now, it takes a certain kind of guy to also honor his part, do the things that he stated that he was going to do, or that him and her agreed to, right? And stay on that. If you're the man that's doing that and you have a lady in your life that's willing to be in harmony with you on that right there, that kind of relationship is a beautiful thing. But brother, I'm just not seeing that many out there. So I'm in a relationship now, and I've stated that from what I saw in her, I saw a good thing enough to say, you know what? Come into my space, right? If you'll let me come into my space. And that came from coming out of my marriage, getting back into the dating market, and just seeing the amount of trash out there. Man, and to, I have to say this real quick, man, and then I'll give you the floor. God happened to be over on YouTube, said, King and I just talked about this last night. I don't have to call out every time that I am right. Man, there's something about being right but not saying it, like having the ability to shut up because it's the right thing to do. That's probably one of the top 5 things that I'm seeing in the modern lady as well, in that they want to be right and they're going to let you know it too. And not knowing how to shut up is a gift. It is a skill. And there's 3 things that I say that most men value. I'm not going to say all men because I can't speak for all men. Yet I think when we talk about these 3 things, peace, quiet, and freedom, you earlier talked about how you want this room that has no influence from anybody else but you in your house, right? And I think that that speaks to peace, quiet, and freedom. That in this space, it is your sanctuary to just decompress. There's all these other cubic square feet in this house, but I want this thing to not be influenced by anybody else but me, not my family. You know, if you're a single dude, your whole house is that. You know what I'm saying? If you're a guy that's choosing to be in a family because that is what you desire, there's nothing wrong with saying, this place, mine. Because I think men inherently value peace, quiet, and freedom. They just don't know how to say that. They don't know how to convey that. Or they might not be, they might be afraid to voice that because they don't want no pushback for saying it.
I agree 100%. And it's ironic because, King, do you play chess?
I know how to play chess, but I'm not like good at it.
Okay, no, but you understand the basic principles.
I
of it.
understand
So,
the concept, yeah, and how to win.
I need women to play more chess, and I'll tell you why. What is the most important piece on the board?
I'd say
The king.
I'd say, yeah, like the object is to protect the king.
Right, listen to what I said. What's the most important piece on the board?
The king.
Because once the king is gone, you lose the game. What's the strongest piece on the board?
Oh, the queen, because she can move in all which directions.
The queen is the strongest piece on the board. So on the chessboard, the queen has to submit to the king. She has the most power, but at the end of the day, the king is the one who decides the game or not. But the queen has all the power. And I feel like in relationships, it is very much the same. If a woman would understand, she really does have all the power in the relationship. Like let's be clear about that. Because if she says she wants some ice cream at 12 o'clock in the morning, guess who's getting ice cream at 12 o'clock in the morning?
I don't like that example. No.
If she wants something, 9 times out of 10, she's gonna get it. But if she abuses that ability, she won't.
Okay.
And so
you lost me for a second, but you reeled me back in with that last part.
Because think about it. As men, a lot of times we would like the easiest route possible. I say that for myself. I don't know about you, but I don't like all the going back and forth. I don't want to do this and that. I want to make a decision and I want to be done. A to B. That's it. A lot of women, they want to go to A to Z and they want everything in between. And I'm just like, I ain't got the time for that. But a lot of times, men are just like, you know what? That's what she wants to do. Whatever. Unless it's like I said, that one thing that we put our foot down and we're like, no, this is what I want. I'm not budging. I'm going to die on this hill. But a majority of the other time, because we don't want to go back and forth. That's what you want. All right, whatever. I just, whatever you like, cool. It doesn't really affect me in that matter. So just, it's fine. And so, like I said, relationships are a lot like chess. Women, y'all have a lot of power. Don't abuse it though, because that's one thing that a majority of men won't put up. We'll happily do anything for you, but once it becomes like I'm over you and this is we're gonna do what I say, that's when it becomes a problem. So you can be submissive and still get everything you want.
Okay. I like it. I agree with it. Now let's check into the comment section, and we're going to close out with something light tonight. So we have Tarika said, who is this guy online with King? And her response is that Steven, he's awesome. And then let's see. What's his IG? So Steven, what is your IG, man? Are you somebody that publicly shares that, brother? I need to put that in the description going forward.
No, I do. So I will. I gotta look it up myself. It's funny because I actually just archived everything because it's a new year, so I don't have any pictures up right now. But it is so active. I'm trying to. I want to get a better flow to it because I wasn't getting all the. I wasn't posting very often, so I'm trying to get my life together. But hold on, I gotta see what my Instagram had. Oh, here. Oh, do we have access to the chat?
Yes, we do here and there. There we go. Oh, as far as typing it in, no, not yet. I hadn't figured out how to type it in yet.
Well, here I'll put it in for you, and if you can put it in the there we go. Did you see that?
Yep, got it. And I'm gonna see. You know what I can do? I can do it this way. Let me take this off. Let me do this. Text. Boom. Here. Bam. That is the quick and dirty way until I figure out how to make this a little bit better. But that is his IG right there, spelled out. Steven, spelled PHEN.Walker_91. There it is. There it is.
I promise I'll get stuff up there very shortly. I'm working on it.
All right.
Just going through some transition.
So last video, man, and then we're going to close this thing out for today. First of all, thanks for joining, and to the chat and everybody that popped in to my first stream for 2024. I appreciate y'all being there. And to Marriage, Politics, and Sports with 2 super chats of $5, man. You don't have to, do that. And I'm going to give you a salute as well, man. That is awesome. I like the support that you did with that. Now, when you're out and about, man, you're a handsome brother. Pause. When was the last time that you gotten a compliment from somebody of the opposite gender? The fact that you even have to think about it is hilarious.
So listen, I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I'm trying to remember the last time that I was even out and about. Because listen, man, I'm 32. I'll be 33 in a month and a half. So, bro, I'm in the house. Like I go to work. I haven't really had a chance to do a lot of traveling yet. That is one of my goals this year. I'm gonna get my passport next month because I want to become a global citizen.
There you go.
But I haven't really been out and about. But you know what? I say this though. I am terrible when it comes to women and their signs, because I've been in a position where somebody was interested and I missed it completely. Like, whoo, I had no idea. So off the top of my head, I can't think of the last time that I was out in public and somebody gave me a compliment. I genuinely I can't think of a time. Like I don't know.
So I'm very similar to you, man, in that I don't catch flirting when they're like really flirting unless it's a hey King, I like you, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like I
No,
miss
that part.
yeah.
Right.
I miss the subtle stuff. For example, my lady, if it wasn't for her really like calling me back out when her and I first met, her and I really wouldn't be talking. I was feeling her, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't really looking to be in a relationship, but at the same time, I wasn't so sure that she was feeling me. And that's not to say that's why I didn't, press and really try to get to know more. I wasn't looking for a relationship. So I met her. I thought she was dope. She was very attractive. I just didn't see the signs that, I thought that she was feeling me like that too. But that's me in general. She called me back out to us kind of further that relationship and get to know each other a little bit more. Had she been flirting that entire time when we first met and I just didn't catch it, yeah. If she puts it in the chat, hey, Michelle, let me know if you were flirting and I just didn't, catch on while we were there. But
no, that's real. That's real. It's funny because it's like I know why I miss it because I do not do well with rejection. Because boy, I'd have been in a couple situations where I caught myself trying to flirt or be noticed. Man, it went nope, didn't work out, and I'm over here looking goofy. So I'm just like I will exonerate myself of having to go through that feeling of rejection because that shit is terrible, bro. That shit hurts. you in the shower thinking about it, you trying to scrub your back, and like, dang, she wasn't even interested. And I put all my cards out on the table. Nah, can't be me, player. Ooh, I can't do it.
For me, I was always okay with rejection because I had this thing where I'm just like, all right, I kind of had to understand it. If you rejected me, that's fine. It could be for whatever reason. I always had this thought of there's always the next person. So I was okay being vulnerable. Like, not to say that I was always like ready to look in, something else, but it's like, hey, I'm going to let you know I like you. And if you say no because your head too big, you ain't tall enough, I prefer somebody else. I'd be like, all right, cool. Hey, God happened to me said I was flirting heavy, all caps. She said, I sat next to you intentionally and I made intentional eye contact. I even intentionally said, okay, I'm leaving now so that you knew that I was feeling you. Hey, when she said,
bro,
and
you had no idea.
Bro, I had no idea. When she said, okay, I'm leaving now, I was like, all right, nice to meet you.
No.
Yes. Yes.
Bro, you almost missed your calling. Oh,
bro.
Man, I feel you.
Yeah, man.
I trust.
So
I get it. Because I don't want to be like, ooh, she's feeling me, and then find out that she's not. Then you really look bad. You're like, oh, damn.
Yep. You'd be like, well, you can't come back here now.
Right. Whoever invited me here, don't ever invite me again if she's gonna be here. Don't do that to me. Don't set me up like that.
Yep. Let's see. She said, go back and read the first thing. There were 4 messages. Let's see. She also said, baby, what? I thought you were foreign and I wanted you to be mine. The fine and the mine in all caps. Hey, babe. Hey, that's what I'm talking about.
I love this for y'all, man. I love it.
Man, so the reason why I asked you is, in my opinion, I think it's rare for a lady to compliment a man. And for the most part, guys really aren't judged heavily on their looks. And I said that very intentionally because women are. I mean, bottom line, women are. All right. If you agree with that, if you don't agree with that, if you don't agree, I'd love to know why. But women are typically judged for their looks or their beauty to the beholder, essentially. So there's this video of this lady going around
Can I
telling men that
interrupt
they're
you
handsome.
real
Yeah.
quick?
Oh, go ahead.
So I think men and women judge equally. The difference is women see the potential in a man before a man a lot of times will see the potential in a woman beyond her looks, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Because a lot of women can see a dude like you've seen it where there's like this girl that you think like, man, she's a 8, 9, or 10 or whatever, and then you see the dude she's with, and you're like, huh? What? And it's because there's a quality that he brings to the table that we can't see outwardly, where there's a lot of dudes who might be really good looking, and they might not necessarily give the girl that's not quite at 8, 9, or 10 a chance, but not realize that what she, and I'm not even gonna say lacks in beauty, because I don't think that's I don't want to put it in that perspective, but she makes up for in the way that she's gonna take care of that said individual. And I think sometimes that's where we as men miss the mark. Sometimes we need to look a little deeper. And I think women naturally look past just what you look like. And I think that's something that we as men we need to do a little bit better. Because here's the thing: we all gonna be old, ugly, and gray one day. So what else? What else? What are we gonna have after that? You know?
True that. Yes. And I'm going to say something a little bit different. I think men are more looked at by how well you can, it's the 3 P's: provide, protect, and give provisions. Provision 4. I think that's how guys are looked. Now, looks are a factor in that as well. Your lady has to be attracted to you. Okay. I think that aside from outliers where you could be a 55-year-old dude with a yacht, meaning you have yacht money, that guy's the outlier, because there are some women that are attracted to that, and that dude could be a 3 by society standards and still be able to pull because he got yacht money.
Yes, that I agree, but I think for the average woman, but you know what though, I like the protect, provide, and what was the third one?
Provisions.
Provisions. I think men should be able to provide that anyway. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to take care of you like a child. Like, you're gonna have to bring something to the table. You know, you might have we both might have to work a job. However, I'm still going to make sure that I'm able to provide everything that you need, because again, we're talking about men being the leaders of the relationship. So I do think that is very important. And that's why I said I think women see the potential in a man sometimes before vice versa. Because with us, typically the first thing we notice, we're like, oh, she's this, she's thick, you know what I mean? And then we'll get around to, after we talk to her, like, oh, hold on, your attitude stank. Oh no, So I do. I think we're saying the same thing, but I do think that's important though.
So the last time that I got a compliment from somebody that wasn't my lady, it was somebody who complimented me on how I smelled. I rarely wear cologne, but on this day I decided to try something out. And man, like this. So this lady complimented me on my smell, and I just simply responded, "Thank you." I smiled because like it did make me feel good that, hey, this person just had went out of her way to kind of say that real quick. And then after that, she goes, like, she then started making small talk with me. So I'm like, that kind of clued me in. Well, actually, it wasn't her. It was somebody that was behind her, another guy that was hearing our conversation. And then I kind of saw his face, like, and he was smiling like this, like, yo, this lady feeling you. But it's so it's so rare. It's rare.
But did you know what though? I always say to a certain degree, accept flowers when they're given. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, especially as men, there isn't a lot of time that just a regular, like I can say, like I'm a regular dude, like
Yeah.
I'm a regular guy out here. It's not often that we will get the compliments like that, and on top of that, I think it's almost more acceptable for a woman to give a man a compliment, and it's okay. Whereas vice versa, if a man compliments a woman, a lot of times they're like, "Oh, you're just trying to," Well, that's a whole other topic for another
True that.
day. But one thing that I want to try to be present in the moment and accept what comes, the good things that come to me. So you got a comment for smelling good? That's dope. Absolutely. Don't wear it again for a little while and then wear it and see what your lady thinks. Hit it with something crazy out of nowhere. I'm like, it just breeze by her. Like, you smell that, don't you? See what happens.
Let's take a look at a quick little compilation of a lady telling guys that they're handsome, and watch how all of these guys react to it, man. Let's take a look. Oh, man, come on. Here we go. Boom and boom.
Hey, King, I just want to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. No problem. King, how you doing? I just want to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. King, how you doing? I just want to let you know you're way too handsome not to be smiling here. No problem. King, I just want to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here.
Oh, you thought I was upset or something?
No, I'm just telling you are way too handsome to be king. How are you? I just want to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. No problem. I just want to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here. And it's a king. How are you? I just want to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here.
Oh, is that right?
That is so true.
Hey, you think I don't let me smile?
Well, let me see it. I know you got a good one. There it is. Hey, how you doing, King? I'm all right. I just want to let you know you are way too handsome not to be smiling here.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. Take care of yourself and always wear your crown straight.
Man, I'm going to tell you what I observed real quick. I observed a lot of guys that when they got that compliment, right, they had a little bit of a stoic face initially, but then they heard that compliment and you saw all them brothers cheesing, huge ass grins on their face, man, because it's rare. It is rare to have a lady in public give a guy a compliment, calling them handsome and things like that, man.
Where is this woman? We need to find her and make sure that she stays she stays safe and well provided for and taken care of for the rest of her life. Yeah. That was so wholesome to watch. And a lot of people, ladies, listen up. There are things that men deal with that we'll never speak about. And just to hear something small like that will literally change the whole day around.
Mm-hmm.
Something simple. And there's nothing sexual about it. There's no innuendo. It's just simply, hey, you're too handsome not to smile. Well, you know what? All right. You know what? The rest of the day is gonna be all right. Can't nothing happen that's gonna bring you down for the rest of the day. Like that goes a long way. I think that helps with men's mental health, just being acknowledged and appreciated. Like that's huge. Just little things, man. Just little things. I love that. Kudos to her.
Yes, that lady, I think that was like number 34. I got that video from TikTok. She's done that and then it went viral. So she now goes around, she gets the compilation, she puts them together. But everything that I've noticed that was common is that most of the guys go from having just this story face like, man, what this person want, to then just this big, huge grin. And something that you said, that one thing right there can make the whole day go great. So yeah, Steven, oh man, I'm thankful that you wanted to come on with me for my live streams. In the past, I used to do a mix of different things, but looking at 2024 going forward, I like this format. I like the engagement that we had from the people as well. And for as long as you have the availability, man, let's rock, brother. I think that this thing can offer some value, that we can share some insights, and hope that some of these nuggets out there can make it into some ears of people that are watching and or listening, and that they can gain something from it.
Now everybody heard King, right? He said whenever I'm available, I'm saying it live on Tuesday, January 9th. King, I'm available whatever Tuesday, Wednesday you want or need me. So if you want to do it every Tuesday, Wednesday, all you gotta do is let me know, baby. I'm here.
Rock
Let's
on.
rock.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Let me go into the comments and then we're going to close this out. God Happened to Me said his lady loves every cent that he wears. I like it.
Yes, sir.
I like it.
Love it.
Tarika said, I don't see anything wrong giving a man a compliment. Hey, Tarika, tomorrow, if you're out, give somebody a compliment. It don't have to be anything long. Just go, hey, I love blah, blah, blah about this today. I complimented somebody on their hair the other day. Like, it was a little bit different, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, love your hairstyle. Bro, she had the cheesiest thing on her face. It was like, thank you. And then she went on about her way. I went on about, mine. But just saying that took 3 seconds out of my day, and it can, definitely brighten up somebody else's day as well. So to the chat, hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in. This will be either Tuesday or Wednesday. I know in 2023 and today, it's been a typically Tuesday show, but I think I can make Wednesdays work. So continue to rock with me. We'll see how the schedule looks next week. If you're new and you catch this and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Steven and I will be back on the Actual King Smith live stream. Steven, I appreciate you popping in, brother. Did I lose you? I might have lost him. Well, on that note, we out. Peace.